Aidan C.R., thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So, the first question I have for you before we jump into Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round is, are both of you guys okay? Like, mentally okay?
That's a good question. Yes and no.
Yeah, I exist. I'm around. I'm here.
Yeah. One thing we get asked that a lot, actually.
Yeah, this isn't the first time.
One of my favorite moments throughout this entire process was at our premiere screening in Leeds, England, where CR's parents sat down to watch the movie. They flew all the way out to England.
They're horribly jet lagged.
Yeah.
And our movie premieres at 10:30 at night.
Yeah, and so they're sitting down, they're just talking to the audience members next to them.
And this guy yawns really big. And my dad jokingly was like, "Can you not do that?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, man. I just got off a long day of work." And my dad's just kind of like, "Oh, well, what made you interested enough in this movie to come see it so late at night after a long day?" And the guy just turns to my father and says, "I hear the writers had a really messed up childhood."
And directly to the parent of the writer. And how do you answer that as a parent?
I think my dad was like, "Well, I'm one of the writer's dads." And then the guy laughed, and then the guy realized my dad was being serious. And then I think my dad was like, "We'll just blame it on the co-writer's parents."
Yeah, we'll blame it on my parents.
They shifted the blame to you.
Yeah, and my parents, sure enough, at the next screening, the next film festival we played, my parents made it out. And I think during the Q&A, someone asked literally what do your parents have to say about this? And I was like, they're right there. You can ask them.
Ask them.
Just go up and ask them. Why are you asking me for?
There's a thing with horror people that I think everyone assumes that you're such a dark and twisted person. And it's funny because I found that generally horror people who watch horror movies are actually really nice.
Yeah.
It's almost like we have all of our demons are just there on the screen.
Yeah.
And captured in the form of that media, and here we are, you know. I think mostly regular people, maybe with some dark-rooted trauma, but
Yeah. That's how you get past it, by making movies.
Yeah.
So let's pop into this, because this movie starts off very, very slow, and then as soon as the movie starts popping, it pops off. Yeah. What was the process like making this film? Because you guys took a big swing by making a full-length film in the eyes of basically a childhood TV show. Was that always the plan from the jump?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say from the beginning,
Yeah.
The vision was, to make a kids' TV show that's so believably a kids' TV show. Not that we want this to happen. Not that we want to traumatize kids. But if a kid just accidentally turned it on TV and watched it, the first 15 minutes they might say, "Oh yeah, cool, this is like an old kids show," and then it gets a little darker, and then a little darker, and then something really scary, fucked up happens, and then not that we want to traumatize kids, but it needs to be believable enough that we could traumatize kids if we wanted to.
I distinctly remember when the script first got picked up, my aunt, who has 3 young kids right now, was kind of so I assume my kids aren't going to be able to watch this movie. And my immediate response was just well, if we do it right, they should be able to watch at least the first 5 to 10 minutes. Because we want it to feel authentic and to the source.
And that's difficult, right? I was really scared about doing that, to be honest, because most horror movies, right? You have the opening kill scene before the first act. And the reason you have that is so that the audience knows, I know exactly what I'm in for. I know that it's coming, right? There's the suspense of something scary is going to happen. And our film doesn't really have that, which is really weird and unique. And I don't think we really believed that it worked until the first test screening that we did, where, to be honest, with early cuts, we got notes from some producers And the notes were, the first act is too boring. You gotta speed it up.
You have to trim the first act.
And we kept getting that note, trim the first act, trim the first act, trim the first act. And then we were like, okay, let's trim the first act. And we trimmed it. And
we cut it to the absolute bone.
Took it from like 20 minutes to like 10 minutes.
If
right?
not shorter.
Just like flying through it. And at the test screening, just about every single audience member was like, we really loved the tone of the kids show in the first act, but like, can we live in that world a little bit longer before we cut to the horror? And we said, okay, how many people felt that way? And every single person raised their hands and agreed. And the people who were given, the producers were like, okay, guys, you buy yourselves another 10 minutes on the first act.
I think that was the first thing he said to us after the screening. He was like, all right, you guys win. You bought yourself an extra 10 minutes. Go for it.
But that's what's great about film.
And was it the same guy that told you to cut it?
Yeah. But, that's what's so great about film is it's such a collaborative process of like, you just try things and you see if they work. And if they don't work, then you adjust, you know?
I mean, that was a huge part of the process for me as editor and writer, was like reaching a point within the cut where you start to realize the movie isn't the script anymore. The movie is what the edit needs it to be. And I think for both of us as co-writers, like getting to that place of we gotta put the script over there. We can cut stuff. We can remove things if it works better in the edit. Even if it works great on the page, if it doesn't work in the edit, then it doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, movies get typically written 3 times, right? Like when you're writing it, when you're shooting it, and then when you're editing it. It's you need to divorce yourself from what you wanted it to be. And, at a certain point, the film becomes alive. It like develops a life of its own. And your job, in my opinion, as the filmmaker, is it's not as much to be like the storyteller, right? We are not the storytellers. The film is the storyteller. The film speaks for itself. And our jobs are almost like we're Dr. Frankenstein, right? We got to like give life to this thing and understand the language of the film and understand what we need to do to let the film speak for itself and let it need to be what it needs to be. And a lot of time that means trying things. I mean, there's so many sequences that got completely adjusted, that got cut. There's a whole sequence that got cut from the film. Should we reveal this?
Which one?
Which one? With the octopus.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole octopus sequence from the film that just got completely cut. But a whole.
Anyway.
We won't harp on that, but it's really about like throwing things to the wall and seeing what works. And sometimes a sequence that you're really excited about, that was really exciting to write, really exciting to shoot, you put it on the screen and it doesn't work, you know?
And even if it works as a scene, it just like, even if you edit the scene and you're like, I love how this scene is cut, then you watch through the whole movie and you're like, that scene doesn't work with the rest of it though. And you go back and you readjust.
There is one scene that pops off the entire film for me, and that is when he's on the steps and he's talking to his knee. And from that point on, I could not look away from the screen. What went into that scene alone? Because I think that is where you start to see like the darkness of this person.
Yeah. I would say as a performer, Michael Gillio, the lead of our film, who he's our film rests on his shoulders. He's so spectacular. But that was the scene in the film that was the hardest for him. Yeah. We rehearsed that scene again and again and again. He auditioned with that scene.
Yep. We made people do that scene for us live in callbacks because
but
we needed to know if they could do it.
But it's such a challenge to, have your knee be in your hands be a different character from your body. Yeah. I'm Italian, right? Michael Gillio, our lead actor, is also Italian. And that means we talk with our hands, right?
Yeah.
And so my hands just connected to my voice, right? But to have your voice be speaking and your hands to be doing something else is a challenge. And so
there's also just like it's also just not a comfortable position to sit in for a long extended period
Oh,
of
no.
time. We initially, if I remember right, we had him sitting on the ground initially.
Yeah,
And then we were like, wait, we have stairs. You
Let's
can
have-
just sit on the stairs
let's have
and
him
not
sit on the stairs.
ruin your body
Yeah.
for us for no reason.
But that sequence was, you know, in preparing to make this movie, we spent like days watching nonstop children's TV, right? Not just Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was obviously the biggest inspiration for the film. Specifically, the Death of a Goldfish episode, where he just explains to kids like what death means.
Yeah,
I know exactly what episode you're talking about.
Yeah, it's an incredible episode,
revolutionary. And so that was a big inspiration. But I mean, also like, you know, Bear in the Big Blue House, Blue's Clues. Even there's some like Dora in there at random points too. But one specific...
You said Dora?
Oh yeah.
What parts are Dora? I may have missed this. What Dora parts did y'all use?
Specifically, like there's something interesting that we talked about. As this is kind of a tangent, so I apologize.
We'll go off on it. Yeah,
but there's something interesting about children's television and horror, in that they are both genres and types of media that call for audience reaction.
They're interactive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that, you know, in a horror movie, you have people in the theater who are like, no, don't go through that door. Don't go in the basement. Yeah, exactly. And it's great. Like, that's the beauty of watching horror movies in a theater. And while we were conceptualizing this and outlining it, we kind of realized, you know, you have moments in children's TV show, especially things like Dora and Blue's Clues.
Yeah,
I would say are the two most prominent examples I can think of, where your host's character looks into the TV and is like, all right, kids, do you see this thing over there? And then the kid shouts out, it's over there. Same thing with horror.
Yeah, the only difference between horror and kids' TV is that in horror, you know, you yell at the screen and they can't hear you, and that's the tension of it, right?
Yeah.
But in kids' TV shows, when the kid says something, the host hears it, right?
Yeah.
Like, or at least they pretend to hear it.
Yeah.
And that interaction between the audience and the character was something that we really wanted to drill into our lead. And it's a huge part of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood too. I mean, Mr. Rogers Fred Rogers specifically was gifted in allowing each individual child to feel heard, right? It wasn't, it was never like, oh, hey kids. It was, hello neighbor.
Yeah.
He would address an individual, right?
Yep.
Because he believed that every kid was a special individual who deserved to feel special, you know? And that was a lot of what we wanted to achieve with the film, was that individual relationship.
Yeah.
You know? But a lot of, you know, so Dora was kind of in there. Mr. Rogers, obviously. Another huge inspiration was a show that traumatized me when I was a kid, which was Between the Lions, which was a show that I loved on PBS. I watched it like every day. But the puppets were like so amazingly interesting and also so uncanny and so kind of creepy at times.
I love them.
And they used to have these guests on the show. I mean, so much like of our lookbook when we pitched the film was just with the weird, creepy, fun Between the Lions puppets.
Yeah.
But these guests they used to have on the show was this puppeteering duo named Hugo and Inez.
Yes.
And Hugo and Inez would do body puppets.
Yeah.
You know, they would do puppets with their stomach, and puppets with their hands, and puppets with their knee, and that creeped me the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
Are we allowed to swear on the show?
Yeah, just go for it. It's fine.
Yeah. So that like really, really left an impact on me. I used to have nightmares about some of these puppets, and that's exactly why Neil is in the film. You know, that's the knee puppet's name is Neil.
Yeah.
I think originally we called him the Knee Boy.
Yeah. And then when we were writing, I don't remember which one of us it was, but one of us was like, knee pun, Neil. His name is Neil. And then
Neil the Knee.
Just the other day, I was reading something that Aidan wrote, and he spelt he had someone kneeling in the script.
Yes.
And he spelt it like Neil's name.
Yep.
Instead of the actual word. So
I spelt Neil wrong because
we've ruined that word for him.
Yes. I'm also dyslexic. Picking on me now.
Man, picking on you because you made a mistake. Man,
yeah, I know.
Terrible. So my next question is, did you guys using all the puppets and stuff hinder the production of your film because you guys were shooting live action stuff, but you also had a lot of puppeteering? Did that hinder like the production? Because live action and puppeteering goes hand in hand, and all the attention needs to go to puppeteering over the live action stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I'm actually, that's a great question
that's a
because people
question.
rarely ask about the puppetry, and they just think, oh, you stand there like this.
Yeah.
But no, it's hard. Because you need to framing out the puppeteer is always the biggest challenge, right?
Yeah.
And specifically with Monkey, because Monkey was not just one puppeteer, but Monkey was two puppeteers.
Yes.
You have one person,
Frank Cesario, who did the voice and was doing, the mouth, and CR over here. And then I'm either like sitting in front of or behind him with my hands out, doing Monkey's hands and arms.
Yeah.
So
wild. You have like two people pressed tightly together, operating this puppet, and especially for shots where it's like we have one shot that they've been using the image a bunch online, where you have all the puppets clumped together like next to each other, and that took forever to try to figure out how to frame, all those puppets in one shot with all these puppeteers like all over each other.
And the benefit of like a production with a larger budget or a production that's entirely puppets without the human element is that you can raise the set 6 feet off the ground, so your puppeteers can sit literally underneath the set, and we're good.
I mean, that's the way a lot of these shows are shot, Sesame Street included, whatever. Like, the set is literally raised off the ground so that puppeteers can crouch below and do their arm, and it looks like you're at a regular height. We didn't have the money.
We didn't have the time or money to do that. So there was a lot of us just lying on the ground. And like just scrunching into a ball and trying not to be seen.
The other challenge that you don't always think of with puppeteering is that, obviously your hand doesn't have eyes. Right? And so what a lot of people don't realize that, when you're acting, right, where you're looking is so important. Your eye line in a film. So like, if I'm looking right here, it leads you to believe there's someone standing right off camera right there. With a puppet, you can't really tell where the puppet is looking. You can, but it's a challenge.
It's hard.
So a lot of what puppeteers will use is monitors. They'll be crouching there beneath the shot, and they'll have a little monitor there, and that shows them what the shot looks like so that they can make sure that the puppet's
eye line
and where motion and everything, make sure it all looks correct. And that was a lot of what helped Michael Gillio doing the knee puppet, right?
Yeah.
We auditioned rehearsed that scene like so many times, and it wasn't until he had a monitor there and was able to watch the monitor while he was puppeteering it and play around with it that he was like, oh, I get exactly what I can do to make this knee and hands feel alive.
That's wild.
Yeah,
like think of it that way, that's just wild.
Yeah.
So my next question for you guys is, where did the story come from? Because this isn't a specific story you guys are telling in this film.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So the initial concept of a scary children's show that never ends was CR's idea.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of just a lot of analog horror that's been going on lately. I love Chris Straub's work with like Local 58, and Candle Cove, of course. And I was at home, I didn't have much going on, and I was kicking around this idea of like I think that I was tentatively calling it like midnight children's puppet show, which was just like scary puppet show. That was the idea. It was just like an excuse for me to make some puppets, play around with stuff, just make something. And I was talking to Aidan about it, and Aidan was like, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
And we started talking about it as an actual script and something bigger. And then from there, we developed
and
this character of the house.
Yeah. And CR had this other idea. There's actually two of your ideas that went into this. Because you had another idea about memory and using static.
Oh, yeah.
And VHS glitches to represent memory. And I was like, what if we put both of those in the same film and also added a monkey and a merry-go-round? Because when I was a kid, people always assume that if you're a horror person, that you're scared of nothing, right? That you just love this scary shit. And I come from the camp where I'm like, no, I'm scared of everything. I have so many phobias, things that creep me out. And when I was a kid, like my ultimate antagonist was, I used to have these. Do you ever have like a dream that like feels so real? Like not feel so real, but like you remember this dream so well that it feels like it's a real part of your memory.
Really vivid.
So when I was like 3 years old, I used to have these recurring nightmares that there was a monkey puppet living in my closet. And it would come out and like clot me at night, basically.
What?
Yeah.
That's oddly specific, but okay.
It's extremely specific.
Yes. And I mean, I think the first horror film I tried to make in high school was based around this monkey. And I just had this image in my head of this thing that, like, I was so this thing, like, I'm still scared of it, you know.
I made him go see Primate with me earlier this year, and I've seen many horror movies with this man, and I have never seen him more like distressed.
I was squealing.
But it was a guy in a suit, though.
I know. There was,
and if you pause it, you can see the zipper, though.
I know, but like I can't remember what point it was, but there was one point where like he's just sitting next to me, and I just hear him mumbling, and all I could make out is just wait for the monkey to go to sleep. And I just started cackling. I just lost it in the theater.
And I can pinpoint where he said that too. Like probably when he's about to ravage the entire house. He does a little bit of the killing. Like it's fine. See, but, he is the same person that I am in a movie theater saying, "Don't go in that room." So
exactly.
I don't hear that.
Exactly. But so anyways, like this guy had tormented me in my dreams for like years. Yeah. And not only me, but actually like my little sister started having these nightmares too. Because I started telling her about this nightmare I was having. And then she started having the same nightmare. And it was just like literally with this guy right here. I ended up, when we went into this, I described to our puppet maker, Jackie Smook, like, or Caleb did, CR did the initial, like concept art. And then Jackie Smook took that and ran with it.
And made them like improved upon them and made them like actually buildable into puppets.
Described what this guy looked like. And our monkey voice actor and puppeteer, Frank Cesario, I sat down with him before the film and I was like, hey man, like, I don't want to give you line readings. That's not my job as a director. But also, this guy's tormented me for years. I know exactly what he sounds like. You know, he talks kind of like this. Hi, I'm Monkey. What do you think? Hiya, Jimbo.
Yeah, there you go.
And, they've essentially said that this is the monkey's voice in my head. And Frank is such a talented voice actor that he took that and ran with it, you know?
Did he nail it for you, though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He without nailed it.
Because I think the voice led to the creepiness for me.
Yes.
Because I felt like the voice matched what Monkey looked like.
Yes.
And that's what, when he's peeping over the fence, just made it more creepy for me. Like, I don't have a problem with puppets, but your film makes me look at puppets a certain way now because I'm like, is he really watching me or is it just a puppet now? So thank you guys for that.
This puppet again, like it was my biggest fear for years, and now he like sleeps in my room with me.
He just hangs out.
There he is. And
Nope. I'd have to hide it.
my former roommate, a good friend of mine, her greatest fear is puppets.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, hey, do you want to see this puppet? And she was like, no, I don't. And sure enough, she's moved out now.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's coming back either.
So,
So another thing I liked about your film is I'm a huge VHS nerd. I love the fact that you made the film gritty and almost like a VHS tracking for the entire duration. How did you guys do that so perfectly? Because I felt like I put a VHS in and started watching it.
That was the goal.
That warms my heart.
I mean, the film was shot digitally.
Yes.
Like on, a standard cinema camera that most movies shoot on. There was like a dream scenario that was like, oh, what if we shot the entire thing on tape?
But
we just didn't have the
budget.
So a lot of the visual was achieved by our director of photography / colorist, Kevin Vaselka, who really nailed the look of it. Yes. But beyond that, we did want it to really feel authentic and feel real. And the last thing we wanted to do was like digital glitches, to have use visual effects to whatever.
Like adding digital grain is one thing.
Yeah.
Degrading an image is one thing, but like digital glitches are hard to sell.
And fortunately for us as well, our producer Joe Swanberg was also really dedicated to that. I mean, he worked on the original VHS movie, like the whole franchise. He directed one of the segments and acted in one of the segments of the original anthology film.
Yeah.
And not only that, but he owns an underground video store in Chicago. We actually slept there for part of production when we didn't have when the production put us up when we shot it in Chicago. But before that Airbnb opened up, we went to Chicago early for a couple weeks and just slept in the store.
It was kind of perfect because we would work all day and then we would just go up to the front and grab 2 VHS tapes, go in the back, watch them, and go to bed.
It was paradise.
It was kind of
video paradise.
That's just awesome.
And I grew up on VHS tapes as well. Yeah. I mean, I didn't have cable when I was a kid. Yeah. Grew up in the 2000s, but we didn't get cable until I was like 14. And so I grew up on PBS and VHS tapes. That was everything. So point being is we love the format, right? Ideally, the film would be released on the format.
Yeah.
And so what we ended up doing in post was we actually ended up collaborating with this artist, filmmaker named Sean Robert Kelly, who essentially converted sequences of the film to VHS tape, glitched it out, messed with it, and then we digitized it and incorporated it into the film. And, we gave very specific direction and had a vision for it, exactly how we wanted it to look. But to be honest with you, it looks way better than I ever imagined.
It really does.
It's so perfect.
Yeah.
He said it. Like I almost wanted to hit my TV and be like, "All right, come on, track.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how they did this, but it is so beautiful.
Yeah. He sent it back, and we were all just like,
yes,
I got it.
Yeah.
Until that day, I don't think the movie worked. The cut of the movie did not work until we had fully achieved the authentic.
Because we just had like a placeholder, just like image of static that we just
horrible.
It was a placeholder, but like it didn't really click until we got the analog glitches in there.
Yeah,
and the flashbacks, and when you get into his story, when they start kicking up, and I'm like, this needs to be on a VHS tape tomorrow because I need to achieve the greatness in this as a VHS.
I've seen it not on a VHS tape, but I've seen it play on a CRT through an HDMI.
Oh yeah.
It looks. I was so happy. I was so happy to see this movie on a CRT.
Yeah, it has to look perfection.
Yeah, I mean, like any movie, obviously the ideal format is theaters, and we were very fortunate to have done a festival run and seen it play in theaters. Audience have seen it that way, and we're hopefully doing a few more small limited theatrical screenings and things around with the release of the movie. But if theater is the number one way to watch it, VHS tape is probably
Is right.
number one.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, this being your first full-length feature, how has the journey got together treated you guys? Because I know it had been a long process.
Yeah, it's been an extremely long process.
We wrote the film in 2023. We were only about a year and a half out of college, actually, at that point. When we
wrote it.
Yeah, and
we sold it end of 2023, and then went into production January, or pre-production January 2024.
Shot February 2024.
Yeah,
it was a whirlwind, right?
Yeah.
Because we were on set. I turned 24 when I was on set.
Yep.
Makes me feel older now.
And all the crew we brought in, everyone was like in their, at the very least, late 20s, but mostly 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
Even 50s. Some people were in their 50s, and it was so weird being the 23, 24-year-old director of this film. Such crazy imposter syndrome. I remember we were bringing one person on, and our producers were like, "Oh, they're a little bit young, right? But they'll make up for it with like hard work and effort." And I was like, "They're 29."
Yeah, we were like, "What? Remember who you're talking to?"
Yeah. How do you call somebody that's 29 younger when you're 24, 25? It's absolute wild business.
Yeah. But our team was so incredible and supportive. A lot of our team came straight from children's TV.
Yeah.
Too. There's a puppet kids TV show called Don Quixote that produced by Fred Rogers Productions.
Yeah.
That's shot in Chicago.
Yep.
And that was where we shot the film. And so a lot of our crew we just took straight from that show.
Yeah, like Frank, who voices Monkey, was a puppet writer.
Yeah. And same with our set build team. They just came from that show.
Yeah.
And there's another show that's coming out, a web puppet series called Dilly's World that we took a lot of our crew from as well. So yeah, we had a bunch of like actual children's TV people and told them, okay, now we're gonna make something scary. I remember
forget what you guys have had.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I won't name names, but there's a certain scene in the movie involving the mistreatment of a puppet, I'll say. And when we were prepping for it, one of the people who worked on children's television shows just looked at me, was just like, "Do you know how cathartic it is to be able to get these puppets dirty? Because I have to keep them in perfect condition all the time on the other shows." And I was just like, I'm glad we could be an outlet for you.
Yeah. Meanwhile, our film is just so grimy.
Yeah.
The biggest inspiration for that was if you've ever seen Meet the Feebles.
Yep.
For audience members who aren't familiar with Peter Jackson's early work, before he made Lord of the Rings, like the biggest trilogy ever, he made like little low budget like horror films in New Zealand. And one of them is this like dark comedy called Meet the Feebles. I don't recommend watching it. CR loves the movie.
I love it too.
I love that movie.
Oh my god!
I made Aidan watch it. Yeah, go for it.
We gotta talk about this.
Yeah.
Watching it now is different from when it came out.
Yes.
Because if you know him from Lord of the Rings, it's never going to be like this and this. Lord of the Rings is always going to be like this. But starting with this was phenomenal back then. I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
Like, Meet the Feebles is just, not to go on a Feebles tangent, but there's something about that movie that just every shot of it makes me feel like I need to go take a shower. Like, it's just so it's just such a gross looking movie, and how it's lit and how like textural it is.
Yes.
And that was something that I really wanted to make sure Monkey had.
Yeah.
So I made Aidan watch it.
Oh no.
And this was after we'd known each other for probably 5 years, after being roommates in college for a while. And the movie ended, And Aidan just looked at me and was like, well, I'm going to bed. And then walked away, slammed his bedroom door, and I was just like, I guess I go home now.
I was like, it made me so uncomfortable watching that movie.
That was his way of saying, you know the way out.
Yeah.
And hopefully our movie makes people feel that way.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. To answer the original question, which was your first movie, how does it feel? It's just so
it
unreal.
There have been various stages where like it's never really felt real. Like, you know, before our festival premiere in 2024, the lead up to that was very much like, oh God, real people are gonna see it. It's a real movie now.
Yeah, I think the little short films that, you know, it's like, oh, you get 4,000 views on YouTube. Wow, that's great.
Well, that was another huge part of our experience with it. Was like when we pitched it, we were asked, do you think you could make this movie for, you know, like very little money? And our response was, what do you mean that's very little money? We're used to like $50 for short films.
Yeah.
We feel like we can do anything with this.
Yeah,
budget.
we have resources now.
Yeah, like we have any money.
Yeah.
This feels like millions to us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't.
It was not.
But yeah, it's just been so surreal. Like, I remember every once in a while we would hang out or call in the pre-production of this movie, and I would just be like, has it processed yet that we're like making a movie?
I'm like, no.
And
he's like, no, not until you just brought it up.
Yeah.
And
I guess part of my way of coping with that is like, I mean, it's just so scary to like make something and then just put it out in the world and for everyone to see it.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, what matters is not that everyone likes it, because not everyone's ever going to, but just that it has an impact on like one person is really what matters.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I learned that after one of our test screenings, someone approached me and said, "Hey, honestly, I lost my mom recently, and your movie, through watching it, actually helped me process that loss. What have you lost a parent?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." But that's part of what it is, releasing a movie out into the world, is it no longer belongs to you. It belongs to the people who watch it, and they can take their own interpretation and find their own meaning.
Yeah.
And the fact that it had such a profound impact on just one person to help make their day better.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing that could possibly happen to me as a filmmaker, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about you. How do you feel the same?
I mean, no, I feel the same way. And it, you know, and then there's the other side of the coin where like at I think our Leeds festival, there's there's some gore scenes, and we had one walkout.
We had several walkouts. There was one person who just stood up and goes, I can't take it anymore.
And then just left. And it was, you know, it's the opposite side of that coin, where I was proud that someone walked out of my movie, which is a weird feeling, but like it impacted them.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, ultimately.
It moved them. It moved them all the way out.
No matter how many, like, I hate to admit, like, that sometimes you do read Letterboxd reviews and just see what are people saying, you know? And the first bad review I saw, I was like, you know what? That means it's a real movie.
Exactly.
Someone hated it enough to give us one review. Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we got another review on Letterboxd, one of my favorites that we've talked about a few times. Someone wrote a review that was 4 stars, which is insanely flattering. Yeah. And they said, my favorite reaction was someone walked out of the theater, and they were just wearing a shirt that said realism.
and I'm just like, why did you walk into the theater? You saw the monkey puppet.
Why did you come to this is clearly not realism, you know?
Of all places to walk into with that shirt, he was like, this one is the winner right here.
Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round.
It's awesome.
I think a lot of that's attributed to our producer, Joe Swanberg, who, I mean, is a spectacular filmmaker. He has a movie coming out called The Sun Never Sets. That's like, oh man,
It's good.
you gotta. If it's not a horror film, it's a romance film, but you gotta check it out
It's a cool
because
movie.
it's like, for me, my favorite movie I've seen so far this year.
Yeah.
But it is the most grounded, realistic, real people movie ever. You know.
I'm gonna have to check it out then, because if you're telling me to watch it, I'm watching it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
It's cool.
Because it feels so real. Every character feels so authentic.
Yeah.
And that's what he's known for. He's known for mumblecore films, right? They actually, on Joe Swanberg films, they never have a screenplay.
Yeah.
They always improvise all the dialogue.
Which is insane.
Absolutely insane.
Wild.
And he shows up on our set because he's so used to making these like grounded mumblecore films. He shows up on our set and he's like, there are puppets everywhere. You know?
Just like it's a fake tree and puppet. What am I doing?
It's so outside of what he's used to making. But obviously, you know, he gave us so many great notes on the script, and his dedication to authenticity, right? Making it feel like an authentic tape and making it feel like a real show, you know, is all certainly his voice is there in the film in that way, you know.
So my last question for y'all, and this is the big question I have to ask y'all: when the fuck do we get a fucking sequel? Because I need a sequel. I need a prequel. I just build me a universe. Just tell me where to. Just tell me where to send my money. Yeah, I need a universe now.
I hate to break it to you. Do we reveal this? That
I mean,
this was made as a one-off film. That was the goal.
Yeah.
But also, after making the movie,
to some extent,
yeah.
As we fell more in love with this cast and you know, these characters, we have ideas. We have ideas for a sequel. We have vague ideas for maybe a prequel.
We have, to be completely honest with you, we could make six. We could make five more monkey movies. We could make 5 more because we have enough ideas.
Sign me up.
You know, spoiler alert: if they give us 4, if we make it to 4 movies, if we get 4, you know, if our little indie film ends up spawning a 4th movie, like, fuck it, he's going to space. Monkey's going to space.
Monkey's going to space at that point.
Finally!
Yeah. That's what everyone thought when they saw this movie. Yes, the puppet can go to space. We
should be the first movie that shoots in space, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Real on location shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do it with all the sets and nonsense.
Yeah.
So before I let you guys go, I gotta tell you how I'm pumping up your movie. I'm basically saying it's Mr. Rogers meets Blue's Clues on acid. Is basically how I'm telling people about your film.
That's the most flattering description you could have possibly given us, man.
Because I couldn't, like, I thought about this for hours the other night because I've watched it so many times now that I had to get a description to put on Letterboxd, and I'm going to write an entire paragraph for you guys, but at the bottom it's going to be Blue's Clues meets Mr. Rogers on acid.
Like, thank you so much, man. You know, my other favorite Letterboxd review that we saw, this was actually at the lead screening. This was the first one that I read. It was like, we got out of the movie. These are the first people in the world to ever see the movie. And I opened my phone and there's a review, like one of the first ones on there. It has 4 stars and it says, if you saw The Shining and thought, this was pretty good, but it could use a monkey puppet, this is the movie for you.
The Shining with a monkey puppet. Hell yes.
I cackled out loud.
Yeah.
And I think we looked at that review again later, and the guy had edited and said edit. The director just laughed at my review or something.
Yeah, it was like I'm bumping it up 1/2 star because the director laughed at my review.
So yeah, man, Mr. Rogers or Blue's Clues on acid is, you know,
that works.
That's our wheelhouse, man. That's exactly what.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of anything better. Like, because I'm telling people to watch it at, like, as soon as it comes out on May 19th. Like, it's an instant watch for me again. Yeah.
Dude,
it has so much. It has so much replay value because I feel like after the first time you don't catch everything. So now I'm going to watch it for the 5th time tonight to make sure I haven't missed anything.
Yes.
Because it's one of those movies.
It was so, there's so much, like, so many things that are like little and hidden, little hints at what is to come throughout the film. That was so much of our madness making this movie, was being so meticulous. Like, okay, the curtains are this color in this scene because of this. Yeah. And, you know, things that people will, you know, there's so many things that people will never notice in the film. And there will be so many things that people see and they take their own meaning from, that we might not have even intended. That's the beauty of letting people watch and rewatch it, is, you know, some of the best things in the movie were things we didn't even intend. And then we watch it back and we're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I totally see how this person saw this.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome.
So,
Before I let you guys go.
The movie belongs to everyone watching this show. It belongs to you. Yeah. Watch it, find your own meaning from it.
Enjoy it.
We hope you like it.
Hopefully. Yeah.
On May 19th on Screambox, does it come out the same day on Amazon Prime, or is it just a Screambox exclusive?
Yeah, it's going to be Screambox May 19th, and I believe it's going to be for rent digitally on Prime and Apple TV. And we're also doing screenings. Our first early screening is already sold out, but it's on May 14th. And I believe we're going to try to get more screenings off the ground.
We're working on it.
So if you want to see it in a theater, hopefully it can happen.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Come to Maryland. I want to see it in theaters. Please.
Hey, let us know which Maryland theaters. We'll talk to them. We'll see if we can make it happen.
I only have one AMC here, so it's fine. It's not hard. We don't have Alamo. We don't have anything else. We just have one AMC. That's it.
Totally.
And that's still my fight with all the time. It's fine.
You know, any screening with Nicole in front of it is okay in my book.
So where can people follow you at? Are you guys on Instagram?
Yep, we're both on Instagram. My Instagram is Aidan Leary 11. Yours
Mine is C.R. or C. Thompson, like the Mario enemy. It's C-T-A.
Wait, that's like a Mario reference?
Yeah.
I never knew that was.
Yeah, like the big cube guy with the bad faces who stomped down on you.
Yeah.
We've been friends for 8 years now. We were randomly assigned roommates freshman year of college. I had no idea that was what your Instagram was referencing. Okay.
I'm so glad that I have this moment recorded.
You can watch it back, yeah. Just see the shock on my face.
That's awesome.
Did you see the shock on his face? It was like a loading screen, and I'm like, something's about to happen here.
Anyways, back to the point. You can follow both of us in the Mario Reference Instagram. And you can also follow Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round. That'll be, you know, your most direct info directly from Monkey himself.
I put on the puppet every time I type something into that account.
So yeah, check out for updates. We'll updates on any screenings or releases, or hopefully we'll get a physical release at some point. Yeah. You know, whatever all is coming out. But Screambox really is the perfect home for this movie because there's a lot of screaming. So we hope that you will watch it and enjoy and scream along with the movie.
Yeah.
And just wait till you get to the ending of the actual film. Nightmare feel right there.
That's right.
But Aidan C.R., thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Of course. Thanks so much for having us.
Of course.
Thanks.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm looking for a pal. Look, it's my best pal, Monkey. Let's go say hi.
Welcome to the playground, won't you have a look around? Meet some pals, join the crowd, strangers here cannot be found.
Did somebody say stranger?
Have you seen one of these before? Well, I bet you have. Perfect. Let's go inside. I have a problem. I can't seem to recall much of anything. Mrs. Post Lady. Huh?
I'm sorry, sir. I really must be off.
You smell the same.
What you need is a good spin and the merry-go-round. Here we go.
Good morning. It's going pretty fast.
Wow! He loves it!
Sometimes friends say mean things.
You look like you've lost your bananas.
Sometimes friends might exclude you.
I know what you did.
And sometimes you might even feel lonely.
She hurt you.
But real friends don't mean to make you feel that way.
Cut! Cut the cameras! Cut it! Stop the show! Why don't you come back to the playground and see all the pals? You should come too.